right, welcome to the Canary in the Cage podcast. I'm Ron Morgan, and my co-host
Dave Havlicek.
We're here to entertain you, educate you, and hopefully make you laugh. Wow,
We got it just in time for the recording this week. All the fireworks.
Oh yeah, Ukraine's going to disappear tonight. It sounds like. Oh no, you got other fireworks.
Real
too.
fireworks. Yeah. Fuck Ukraine. I don't give a shit about.
No, Russia's responding right now.
I don't give a shit. That's on the other side of the world. That's Euro problem.
Maybe you think it's a big, beautiful bomb.
Yeah.
Well, we had the Moab, the mother of all bombs.
That's true.
So wouldn't it be cool if Putin put on the bomb a big, beautiful bomb? All right. Well, we'll get into all that.
We gotta charge him for these ideas.
Yeah. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
So it's always been speculation, or Bill Gates talks a lot about the Earth being overpopulated. We need to depopulate the Earth.
I don't know where he's getting that from, but
do you believe in that or not?
No, that's retarded.
Okay. So would you agree or disagree that the entire world's population could live inside of Texas?
We could do even better than that.
Oh.
Yeah. So like you could take all 8 billion people and we could stand in Jacksonville, Florida.
Well,
we could stand there.
Oh, I thought this was going to set you off. Okay. No, but you could actually live in an apartment.
Well, so
8.8 billion of us.
Obviously you can do it volume wise, but you couldn't do it with all the other considerations, right? Like you'd have nowhere to shop. You at your malls, and
right?
Stuff.
No, okay, well,
but yeah, you could. Yes, everyone could have a little house. And a lot or apartments.
There would be room for some retail because how?
Well, you wouldn't be happy. You could do it, but you wouldn't be happy.
Well, no. So how I did the math.
Yeah.
Is I went and found out the square miles of Texas.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to New York City.
Yeah.
And found out how many people live per square mile.
Right. Well, New York's not even the most dense. Tokyo is way denser. Mexico City.
Oh, I was in America. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an American. There's other countries. What? Huh? So if the Earth is flat and we're here, where are they at?
I don't know.
So I actually thought I was going to fire you up on that one because
no, it's not even close. You could have like quadrillions of people on Earth.
No, but all residing in the same Texas, living.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be in high rises, obviously.
Right.
But if you look at New York, if there's 30,000 people per square mile, there's retail, there's office spaces there. Yeah. So you would still have that.
But you'd have to live in a place that looked and operated like New York. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be happy.
You have to build Texas out.
Well, yeah.
And we'd all be Texans.
Right.
And then nobody could mess with each other.
You'd become a New Yorker. Because you have high rise everywhere. It's construction.
Yeah. No, I guess. Well, I had heard that fact.
I'm walking here.
You know that was ad-libbed?
Yeah.
Was that on the show or
no? We never talked about it.
So he was crossing the street and a cab drove in.
Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah, the cab drove into the camera view, not knowing it. And Dustin Hoffman, it was just like, hey, I don't know, was Al Pacino or Dustin Hoffman?
No, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm walking, so he ad-libbed it. And I think it was kind of funny because it's a famous scene.
That is the only X-rated movie to win Best Picture, I think. You know that?
Did it finally get an X rating?
Yes, they got an X rating.
They had R initially and it changed it to X?
No, it was always X.
Really?
Well, it changed to R later because they dropped X.
See, I thought X was only pornos.
Nope, X can be like extreme violence, or I think it was like, for that movie, it was a lot of drug use.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We were woke back then?
Dude, like, they had censorship boards in the 40s and 50s.
Well, I guess they were, they were woke in a different direction.
Yeah.
Speaking of woke, have you heard about Target?
No.
They don't have the Target stuff anymore.
Huh.
They got American flags everywhere.
Interesting.
Somebody was losing some money and decided to change their direction.
I still kind of don't really go there a lot.
I don't go to... I have a Target. I'm literally within walking distance.
I have one close to me. I'll go there sometimes because there's some things that are like, it's a little bit higher quality than Walmart, and I don't want the Walmart quality stuff. But it's pretty rare that I go there.
So is the Target stuff made in like Japan then, or if it's?
I think it's like Vietnam and India and like.
Oh, don't say Vietnam's better than China, dude.
Of course it is.
He may have Kim Pao Yang or whatever coming at you. So no, actually they've agreed to meet with the tariff stuff. So see how that works out. But again, I mean, it comes down to this. I mean, tariff stuff's fine. All this shit that Elon Musk stuff is fine, which we'll get into the rest of that in a second. But it's time to do something for the American people. It really is. We need some relief.
Like you still have this fucking like I before the show I wanted to pull up an animated GIF of Lucy holding the football for Charlie Brown, but I couldn't find one that was big enough to display on the screen. And I'm like that's Ron, right? That's you. Like you keep trying to kick that football, You think, government is, if we get the right people, they're going to do something for Americans, and the government's going to solve our problems. No, it's all bullshit. Like the government cannot solve our problems.
So my motto in life has always been: the federal government should never intervene in my life.
It shouldn't exist.
That's not their job. Well, no, agreed, it's not. But the reality, they shouldn't exist. I agree. But the reality is they have been, and Joe Biden did it with a fucking chainsaw. So if Trump wants to be a successful president, he needs. I'm just talking about pulling stuff back. I'm not talking about adding stuff.
But you keep
more stuff.
But you keep saying like, we need RFK to ban chemicals and
fluoride in water. Really?
Okay, so what?
It shouldn't be there.
The government shouldn't be controlling that.
But they do. Pull it the fuck back.
No, the reason that there's fluoride in our water is because the government controls our water.
Right. So
you want the government to keep controlling the water.
No, I want the government to go pull the fluoride out, do what you want.
No, you want to have the government write a law that bans fluoride in water.
What? No.
Yes, you do.
No, I want them to stop putting fluoride in water.
But that's not the solution, because maybe some water should have fluoride in it. Maybe I should decide for myself how much fluoride I want or don't want in my water.
You can.
No, I can't.
Go to the store, buy some fluoride, and pour it in your fucking water.
Oh, yeah, I can do it that way, sure. But
how much you want it? You want to decide for your neighbor, too?
No, I should have it out of my faucet, and then if I don't like the level of fluoride that comes out of my faucet, I can call up a different provider. I can do something else, right? Like you.
But that's not how the plumbing works in a building. It would be all. The reality is,
it would work that way. People would figure out how to make it work that way.
It could never work that way.
Of course it could.
We don't have the infrastructure to do anything like that at all.
Because we have too much government. No. If we had no government, we would have all the infrastructure you could dream of. We would all have a big Texas-sized city, and we would all have like 20 different water providers, and there would be 20 different pipes, and like you wouldn't even think about it. It'd be amazing.
All I'm asking for is pull shit back. Stop doing stuff.
Right, but
find the overreach and cut the fuck off.
Your method of doing so is to do the same shit we've been doing.
No.
Is have some guy write on a piece of paper, you're not allowed to do this.
So the federal government in the 60s or 70s said, put fluoride in your water or face consequences. Yeah. Okay, so people had to put fluoride in the water.
Right.
I'm saying the government goes, stop putting fluoride in your water. Or if you want to, do it.
No, they should. See, like, you're doing the thing. You're saying, instead of ordering people to do this, order people to do that. No, the solution is stop ordering people.
Stop. So the fluoride never comes out of the water?
No, if one city wants to put it, then that's that city's problem.
That's fine. If you want to turn it into a state right, I'm cool with that.
Well, I don't want it to turn into a state right. I want it to turn it.
But I don't know why it's not there.
That's a start. Is turn it to a state right.
Or just shut it the fuck off.
But then we realize, okay, maybe we shouldn't have states. We should have cities. And then instead of saying we should have cities, maybe we should have neighborhoods.
Actually, that's how Colorado runs.
And then instead of saying maybe we should have neighborhoods, maybe I just have my own house. And you leave me the fuck alone.
Colorado is a home rule state. Okay. Which means the counties and the cities they dictate their own outcome.
There you go.
And that's cool. So yeah. So I mean, and that's fine. But I just don't want it in there. I don't care how you do it. I get it.
So, like, you could pick the water provider that doesn't put any in there.
But that's less government control.
It's not. It's some guy in the government saying, you're not allowed to do this.
But they've done it by force.
Right, but you still want more force. You want force.
Then do it by states.
The solution is to stop forcing.
The federal government should say, we no longer require fluoride in state water.
We're not going to...
And let the states decide.
Right, we're not going to say any rules at all. Oh, okay. Do whatever you want. And then if people don't like living in California where the water is fluoridated, they can move.
Right. Here, unfortunately. Although, our assembly district just shot down the tax breaks for the movie theater, or for the movie studios.
Huh.
Which is weird.
Why the fuck would they do that?
I don't know. Did I ever tell the cigarette story?
Maybe.
There was a lawmaker, assembly district guy, whatever. He presented a bill. He wanted to go, I'm sure he died. He wanted it, no, this is in Nevada. If you were born after 2022, or no, 2002 or 2003, right around that area, you can no longer buy cigarettes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. But then it went one step further.
Where do they get this shit?
No, they went one step further. The only people that can sell cigarettes are casinos.
Oh my god!
The dude actually put pen to paper and wrote that down.
Wow. Well, so that first law would be discrimination on age, which is you can't do that.
Well, they already do. You can't buy cigarettes until you're 21.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that either. Like when I was a kid, like your parents used to give you like a 10
note.
and say, go get me a pack of smokes.
It'd be a carton of smokes at that point.
Well, whatever it was. I don't know.
No,
Because I never did. My parents didn't smoke, so I don't know.
But you could literally buy cigarettes with a note from your mom.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But speaking of retarded state rules, I got one from California.
Oh, just one?
So a recent one. It's not passed yet, but it's going through the process. I don't actually know if it'll pass. Like, I don't know how popular this is, but they're trying to pass a law that says any cryptocurrency on an exchange, if your account had no activity for the last 3 years, that money goes to the government.
Wow.
So, like, they do this for banks already, right? Like, if you have a bank account and there's no activity on the bank for a certain amount, I don't know what the actual time is, but that money gets appropriated to the government.
I don't think that's
It is true. Well, so the bank can't just keep it forever, right?
No, so, okay. So I went on Illinois Comptroller's website.
Yeah.
Because they say, oh, you can find lost money. And I'm like,
Yeah.
But I thought, well, I lived in Illinois for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I found a $1,200 check that was due to me. And I gave them my information.
Yeah.
And they said the check's on its way.
Yeah.
And like 3 days later,
well, but
the
so
check showed up. But that's not the bank.
That's not the. So we're talking about, like, you open a bank account, and then let's say you die or whatever. Now there's the money in that bank account, right? So that after X years of zero activity, the government will take that money and do what it wants. Now, like, I think they'll try to contact. It's like a bank will try and contact your next of kin and all that kind of shit first.
Yeah.
So like and the California law might have all that shit in there. I didn't read it or anything.
Right.
But there's a fundamental difference between a bank account and a cryptocurrency account.
So how would they know who has what, where?
Well, it's on your account. It's not like your wallet.
The crypto stuff.
Yeah, because it's for exchanges.
So
people keep their shit in exchange, which is like a bank.
Okay. Oh, crypto bank.
Where like we teach you not to do that. You keep your own crypto.
Right.
And of course, if you die, it might. So like, what you can do is write down your seed phrase and lock that up somewhere, so that if you die, your next of kin can open up your locked stuff and get the seed phrase and recover your. So, but if it's on an exchange, it's really not your crypto. It's the exchange's crypto, because you don't have the keys to that crypto. But the fundamental difference between a bank account and a crypto account is that a bank account is expected to have regular activity, right?
Right.
Because like you're paying your bills and whatever the fuck.
Yeah, checks coming in,
but
checks
like
going out.
A crypto is more like a savings account. It's more like a stocks account, right? You put your shit in there, and then you hope it gains value. That's what these people are doing on these exchanges.
So
why would it have activity?
So would there be Monero in the exchanges?
No, exchanges actually don't allow Monero.
Okay.
Because it's too private. It's too scary. It's too.
Okay.
So yeah, keep now. Whether or not this passes, like, this should be a fucking red flag to you people. Keep your own fucking crypto on your own accounts, right?
It's gonna pass.
You can do cold wallets where it doesn't even exist on a computer anywhere, so you can't get hacked.
Right. So the exchanges will give that information to the government.
Oh, of course, they give the info right away once you open an account, right? Because if you open a crypto trading account, the first thing they'll do is say upload a picture of your ID.
What, for crypto?
Oh yeah. It's really bad. Yeah.
So there.
Yeah.
But safety concern.
They don't give a shit. That's the law. The law says you have to do it, so they do it.
What the fuck? Why would anybody do that for?
Because they don't understand the point of crypto. Like they just think it's a money making scheme. Like you just buy the crypto, and then the number goes up, and then someday in the future you maybe trade it.
The government's fingerprints are all over crypto. I don't care what anybody says. They're all over crypto.
Well, regardless, store your own crypto, store your own coins. Don't trust exchanges. Don't trust the government with exchanges, because they're going to steal your crypto.
So what's up with there's been a few kidnappings for people's Bitcoin. One happened here in Vegas.
Really?
Oh yeah. Huh. They took the guy out to the desert, was beating the hell out of him.
I believe it.
And they finally got a hold of his father.
Yeah.
And somehow the father released the crypto.
Yeah.
And then it happened in New York as well.
Huh. Yeah, it's a thing. So like with things like Bitcoin, we talked about this before. I don't know how much detail I went to. No, actually, we did a show. We did a whole show on that.
Did.
Yeah. So like Bitcoin, because it's fully transparent, I know which wallets have the highest Bitcoin in them, the large number of Bitcoin, and then if I can associate that wallet with you as an individual, I can kidnap you and take you out of the desert and say, "Give me your fucking Bitcoin."
Huh.
Whereas Monero, you just can't do that. You don't know which wallets have stuff in them.
So there's stories that pop up a couple times a year of like people like legit losing their flash drive or whatever. Oh, but that wouldn't be an exchange, or would it be?
No, that would be you keeping it proper. So like when you're keeping your own crypto, right? Like the whole phrase is "be your own bank." That's how it's. So like if you're gonna be your own bank, well, motherfucker, you need the security of a bank, right? You can't just put it on one drive and then, oops, I lost that drive down the sewer. It's gone forever. Or I put it on this laptop and, oops, my grandma threw poured coffee on the laptop and now it's in the dumpster. No, like, you have to have multiple copies, multiple backups, offline backups. Like, you have to think about this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll do a show on that, because...
Yeah, apparently it's things like...
Yeah, being your own bank you got to pay for it.
Yeah, somebody hid their flash drive in a hidden compartment on a desk.
Yeah.
And the wife gave the desk to good girl.
There you go.
And he could never find the desk.
Goodbye. And even the new guy, like when he gets the flash drive, like
he's not gonna know what it is.
If it's password protected, he can't get into it anyway. Yeah. All right. What do we got here? You want to do some of your
the Joe Rogan one?
Moon landing shit. Okay, Joe Rogan. Oops. How did these get out of order? There we go.
This is a bit Joe Rogan did I kind of like.
Before COVID, I would have told you vaccine is the most important invention. After COVID, okay.
Are you doing the stick for him?
I know. I'm reading the
It's just good to see everybody having a good time. The country's almost back to normal before World War III. COVID was just so strange. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Anymore. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a dick. I think Pizzagate is real. I think there's direct energy weapons in Antarctica. I'm just kidding. I don't think Michelle Obama's got a dick, but I believe all that other shit.
So that was the bit he did that I really enjoyed. Because he's kind of like, I've been a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I am. I'm not. I am. Apparently after COVID, I think a lot of us opened our eyes up. Because I was a borderline conspiracy theorist, but that's kind of when I'm like, this shit's fucked up.
It's not, like, how do I put this? It's not like everything is a conspiracy, because they'd have to be smart to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they're just fucking stupid.
And they just happen to fall into shit.
But they're not falling into shit that works for them. It's just like...
Okay, so the moon landing being faked.
Okay.
Let's say it was.
Okay.
And they did it for a reason. Do you know why I believe they did it? Because Russia was starting to go to the moon and put missiles on the moon. People were scared.
Okay, sure.
We were building concrete bunkers in our backyards. I wasn't alive yet. So we had to fake it to, hey, we're on the moon. We've been on the moon. Russia can't get there.
But they would have called us out on that.
We planted our flag. Well, somebody brought that up. But so they're like, well, Russia had to be complicit with this if we did fake it. But did they?
Well,
because I got my guy.
They would have been looking at the fucking sky with telescopes and be like, motherfucker, you're not up there. They would have whole way they would have been looking.
On the dark side of the moon.
No, we're not.
That's what they said.
But you would have, regardless of that, you would have been watching the thing the whole fucking way there.
So they may have sent a rocket up. Well, no, this is what because this is all coming out now.
Okay, but if you're going to go to the trouble of sending a rocket up, you might as well put some people in there.
It's landing on the moon. Wait, go to the one with the rover.
Oh man.
Okay, this is the car. This is the real car. That's the pod there. How did that fit?
You could make that work
with 3 people. They said it's foldable.
How do you know that that's the pod? How do you know what the distance of that pod is?
What else would it be?
No, okay, but how do you know how far that pod is based on the camera?
Because it looks like he goes right by it.
No,
but we also know how big they are. They actually say this is an RC car with a mannequin, like a Ken doll inside of it. Well, I mean, it kind of looks like it.
Well, that could be. So, like, is this the actual footage? Is this some?
They say it's actual footage.
Okay,
I don't know. I want to know how a car like that can fold up, fit in that little pod.
That could absolutely fold up and fit on that thing.
All right, I have proof the moon landing is fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is proof right here. I got it. We're done. See, right there. Yep, it's fake. It's fake.
This is like some AI shit. What is this?
No, I mean, I think if we went to the moon, it would be like the coolest thing ever. But as every day rolls on, I'm like, I'm 50%, I'm 49%, I'm 48%. Dude, I don't fucking know.
And the other thing, like, I brought this up before, but, like, you can't look at the COVID government and say that's the same government that put us on the moon. Because it's not.
No, I agree.
So, like, yes, they were always, like, shady shit, like the OSS and the Dulles brothers, but, like, people were competent back then.
No, you know about the Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We knew the attack was going to happen, and we allowed it to happen. So we lied to the American people.
Yeah, they've been lying for a long time.
So we admit
I'm not saying they don't lie.
So we admit the government has been lying for a long time.
Yes.
So way past the moon.
I don't think they could have pulled off that lie.
I mean, Vietnam, the Liberty boat.
That wasn't Vietnam.
No,
Liberty was Israel.
No, but
you're thinking of Tonkin, Gulf of Tonkin.
Oh, Gulf of Tonkin. What? Yeah, okay, because the Liberty. Okay, yeah, I was just listening to an interview a few weeks ago about the Liberty ship, which is fucked up.
Yeah, so I saw another, like, it was at the Mises Caucus.
Yeah.
Not the caucus, but the Mises Institute.
No, but the dude on the boat wrote a book.
Yeah, well, he was the guy doing the interview on YouTube.
Yeah,
or not an interview, but it was a speech.
That was compelling.
Yeah. No, like, of course they always lie. I just don't think they could have pulled off a lie that big. Like, somebody somewhere would have blown the whole thing up.
But we had the Germans.
Right.
Yeah, so they were the smarter ones.
Right, they're more likely to actually go to the fucking moon. Like, you take a fucking Nazi and say, hey, buddy, we're going to lie about this. You know how that guy would react?
Okay, so how many people would it take to fake the moon landing?
It's a couple of hundred at least.
I think it'd be done with less.
There's no way, dude. There's no way. Like, did I bring this movie up with the Capricorn 1? Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, because I actually got to watch it now because you brought it up. You brought it up after the show or during the show?
There's a scene in that movie where, okay, so let me go back and describe the movie because you guys probably know. It's an old 70s movie. It's about, they're taking a trip to Mars, and it turns out it's a big conspiracy. Like, they're trying to fake it, and they pull the astronauts out at the last minute. And, like, they lock them in a room and like, they explain to them what the situation is and all that shit. And I'm not going to spoil the rest, because it's a really good movie. Go watch it.
What year did that movie come out?
78, 77.
Oh, so just like less than 10 years after we faked the moon landing.
Well, that's funny. I think a lot of the moon landing shit came from this movie, and then people forgot about the movie, which is really weird.
Did Stanley Kubrick have anything to do with that movie?
No.
Because he's the one that faked the moon landing.
Okay, but there's a scene in the movie. Well, so first of all, the astronauts, like, they weren't in on it, but they were told because they had to be told, right? And then, like, they were the ones fighting against it the whole movie. But there's a scene in the movie where one of the guys in the, what do you call the control room?
Yeah.
He's on, like, a terminal, and, like, he's running some numbers and looking at the flight paths and shit, and he's like, something's wrong. Like, this doesn't add up, right? And, like, they disappear him.
And then he died. I would say he died.
He mysteriously disappears and dies or something. But, like, think of how many people they'd have to do that to, right? Somebody would have seen an anomaly and said something.
So the people in the control room watched a TV monitor. So
I don't know exactly what they were like.
They saw. Well, I mean, if you look at the NASA footage, which I'll get to that in a second. I talked about it before.
Yeah, but they're reading like real instrument data from the ship.
It's being told to them what you know. It's
right. But it's hard.
In the room just
it's hard to fake that in a way that would look real. Is my point. Like somebody would say this doesn't matter because these are all fucking PhD scientists, right? So like you can't just trick them easily.
We know that though.
Oh my God! Yes, they have degrees from universities. You can call university. Like now you have this is why I'm saying a couple hundred because you'd have to get to the university and say, hey buddy, this guy has a fake degree. You're in a university. So if someone calls asking, does he have a degree?
No. I'm saying the people who look at the screen they thought we went to the moon.
Right, but that you wouldn't be able to trick them very easily.
It's Stanley Kubrick and the crew.
God. They wouldn't be able to trick those people.
Why not?
Because they're PhD scientists who know what real data looks like.
So when they were in college, they learned how to track a dot from the Earth to the moon?
Yes, that's exactly what you do.
This is the Earth, this is the moon.
Yes, that's why you don't know how to do it, because you never went to college.
Watch the dot. Oh, I don't know.
Well, the math wouldn't add up. They would see, they would notice.
What's your view on 9/11?
What about it?
Do you think the government was involved? Do you think they weren't involved?
I don't think they were involved. I think they, again, with Pearl Harbor, they knew it was coming. I don't know. So here's what we know for a fact. The CIA captured an Al Qaeda guy in 97, 98, something. The guy had a laptop.
Yep.
They went through his laptop. It had detailed plans for 9/11.
Okay.
And I think it was the CIA. And back then, this was before the Patriot Act, where like the CIA and FBI hated each other back
Say
then.
that way, you fed.
Huh?
The Patriot Act came out right after 9/11.
Yeah.
It was so.
So part of the Patriot Act was that all these agencies have to talk to each other and share data.
So the Patriot Act was voted on like 2 months after 9/11.
Yeah.
Has the bill ever
I
taken
don't,
that point?
you're changing the subject.
Okay,
So
you mentioned the Patriot Act. I didn't.
The point is, before 9/11, the CIA and the FBI hated each other. Right?
Okay.
And they wouldn't share data. They hated each other's guts. So the CIA takes this laptop and they file it away in some cabinet with the 20,000 other laptops that have evil plans on them, and like they just don't ever think about it again, right? So like, yes, they knew about the plans, but I don't know how plausible those plans seemed compared to the other plans they were looking
I
at.
get it.
So like, yes, someone could have raised the flag and say, "Hey, be on the lookout for this," but they didn't, and it happened. Now I don't know how like.
See, okay, I've always,
So I don't want to say the government was secretly involved. Like that just doesn't make any sense.
I've always stayed out of that one. I don't think about it. I don't want to know about it because I mean, like I know people that died in the World Trade Center. So I don't want, or I meet people. So if I say something, I don't want to like piss somebody off. I don't know if I've ever told you the story.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I was in a bar and I talked to strangers.
Yeah.
My son was here and a stranger was here, and I was trying to talk to him. The guy goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all upset. I've got issues going on." I go, "Oh, man, that's cool, man. Don't worry about it." He goes, "Yeah, well, I just found I got 6 months to live." Now, I didn't know this guy. And my son overheard him, and he didn't say this, but he's like, "Okay, asshole, talk." So I went crazy. I'm like, well, take out bank loans, buy your cars, but do all this stuff. And he actually enjoyed it. But that's what I'm afraid of, is saying like 9/11 was staged.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, well, and they used thermite to melt the iron. And I was like, well, my mom died in that. And I'm like, oh, or my dad was the guy that jumped out of the building.
See, I would do that to people on purpose. So I used to wear like a hoodie when I went to the poker casino, and it had like holes in it. It was like really old ratty hoodie, but I didn't give a shit because I'm at a casino. What do I give a fuck? And so someone was making fun of me for it, and I go, "This was my brother's. He died on 9/11."
Yeah.
And like he fucking like instantly started apologizing like a little bitch, and like I couldn't hold the laughter back, unfortunately, but it was good. It was good
but no, because now I mean, like it's like every day now on X 9/11 shit. And that's what kind of brought this to
so like
my mind.
like I said, they might have known about it and then just ignored it because like, hey, well, if it happens, we can capitalize.
So do you know?
But I don't know.
Did you know there's technology that a plane can be flown through remote control, and they were installed in a lot of planes in the 90s.
Okay, I mean,
So people are saying that it's remote control operated. I'm not saying this.
Well, then who knocked the pilots out? Because the pilots would always be able to override that shit.
Could they though?
Even if they couldn't, they could go on the radio like, "The plane's out of my control. What's going on?" And we don't have that.
Did we ever find the black boxes?
I think they did.
Did they?
And they had live radio too. Someone would be in the tower who'd hear that, right? And then we have the plane that went so the passengers on the plane, someone had internet access on their phone.
That was the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania.
Yes. So like the passengers learned about the plans of the hijackers, and they took over the plane, and the plane went down during that.
And they all died in it, unfortunately.
Like that was real, right? How would you fake that? Why would you fake that? It makes no sense.
So they're saying that the planes were remote controlled, flown into the Twin Towers. Pilots are saying,
well, why wasn't that with remote control?
Well, we'll get to that one in a second. So pilots are saying there's no way a novice pilot could fly a plane that big of a plane into a building.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I don't know.
Dude,
Those
things are fucking like you have it on the horizon. You just go towards it. Planes are fucking.
But yet the Black Hawk that flew into a plane.
Yeah, helicopters are very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if you ever like go on a flight simulator, like on Microsoft Flight Sim or whatever, one of those, like those are meant to train pilots.
Okay.
And if you it's very easy for something off in the distance for you to fly the plane towards that thing. The hard part is like landing and taking off and like all the technical shit. Like anyone could just fly a fucking plane once you're already in the air. It's easy. Easier than driving a car.
Okay.
It is. I'm sorry.
Okay. So
like we're not talking about fucking loop-de-loops and shit. Like you just fly towards the object.
The plane that went down in Philadelphia, that was supposed to be headed for D.C.
Yes.
And they said
Congress or something. Yeah.
The news story was that it was going for the White House.
Okay.
But then the Pentagon got hit.
Yeah.
By something.
Yeah.
Now I do believe The Pentagon was not hit by a plane.
Ah, Jesus.
No, dude. So what if that was a plane?
Where'd
going
the
to
plane
Pentagon?
go?
That was a plane going to the Pentagon.
Right, but I'm saying.
I don't know, dude. It just doesn't.
See now, like again, like you talk about.
No.
You have all these things where like, oh, we had a backup missile, but that means more people are involved, and the more people that are involved, someone's gonna leak it, right? And there's been no leaks like that.
Well, jets were scrambled to defend from the planes, but they were on a training mission pretty far away in the country or something. I don't know. It's one I stay out of, but all this shit's flooding in. I never believed that a plane hit the Pentagon anyway, just because of the hole in the building and the wings and the light poles that didn't get not one light pole got knocked over as the big plane came through with the wingspan. It's been a weird thing, but again, I've been trying to stay away from that one, but it's starting to haunt me, and it's been 25 years or 24 years, so I might be diving deep into that one. I don't know yet. So, what else do we have?
Let's see. We got. Let's talk about the Fed because you are kind of retarded about this.
Okay.
But let's play the video.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Despite heightened uncertainty, the economy is still in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer run objective. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. The risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation appear to have risen, and we believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments.
So yeah, this is them announcing that they're not changing interest rates.
Right. So wait, how do interest rates work? The federal government tells the banks what to charge?
No. So the interest when they quote these interest rates, these are essentially the interest rates on bonds.
Okay.
So when you buy a bond, it says $1,000 on it.
Right.
And then it has a bunch of coupons attached, and those coupons all say 4%. So every year you turn a coupon in, and they give you 4% on your $1,000.
Okay.
Now, when you can't change that 4%, right?
Okay.
So the way they target these interest rates is they'll say, "Oh, well, I'll sell you the bond for $980." Right? So now you're getting a discount on the price of the bond, which effectively changes those interest rates.
Okay.
So that's essentially how they adjust it. There's a lot of steps involved, but that's how they do it.
Okay, so the federal government does set the interest rate, though.
No, the Federal Reserve is not part of the government.
Oh, they're a private entity.
Yes.
So they set the interest rates.
Yes.
And then the banks have to follow them.
It's not have to follow them. It's just like you can buy the bonds or you cannot buy the bonds. And so
why wouldn't the bank not buy the bonds? And have a lower interest rate.
There are laws that say banks have to hold a certain number of bonds.
Oh, so it's okay for the government to tell a bank how to operate.
I didn't say it's okay.
Well, you're telling me I'm retarded because I don't understand.
Well, no, you're retarded because you don't understand like what all this means.
But you bitch because I said the fluoride should come out of the water. You're like, you want the government to tell people to bring the fluoride out of the water?
I don't want the government.
And then you're like, but they can tell you how much to charge you on interest.
I don't want them to do that at all.
But that was not your statement.
No. So my statement is we never got to my statement because I was just talking about your statement. So what you said was you want them to lower interest rates because it essentially what lowering interest rates does is it prints money, right? Because when you lower the interest rates, they're selling a $1,000 bond for $1,010.
Okay.
Right? They're essentially giving you free money. So, and then the government, so they're printing. Wait, so they're not actually selling the bonds. The government sells the bonds.
Okay.
They're buying the bonds. Okay. So when the Fed buys bonds, they're saying, "I will pay you $1,010 for this $1,000 bond," and the government's like, "Sure, take as many as you want."
So what's the interest rate that's the break-even point then?
Well, there's no such thing as a break-even point.
1,000 for 1,000?
Break-even was 4% because it's a face value of 1,000.
So 4% interest on money.
Yeah.
So why not be at 4%?
Well, so the whole reason they do this nonsense is allegedly to control inflation and unemployment. Which is all
worked the last 4 years.
Well, it's all nonsense. It's all bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing is bullshit. But like Trump wants the government, not just Trump. The government always wants low interest rates,
Right.
Because it means that the Fed prints money and hands that money to the government,
So
and then
what
the
is-
government can go spend that money.
Why does money have to be printed if it's at 4%?
Because we have a fake fiat bullshit system. The only way to make money is to print it.
Do they print money at 6%?
They're always printing money. That's all they do is print money. Mm-hmm. So it's all about, do we print more money or do we print less money? That's all they do is print money.
Okay, so a 4% interest rate would help home buyers.
Nothing is this. You're thinking of this wrong. Like, it's nothing helping or hurting. Right? The existence of the Fed hurts everybody.
Okay, we agree, but they
So
exist,
like,
so we have to deal with it.
So interest rates are a price. Okay, it's the price on future money.
Okay.
So like, if you don't set prices with markets, right, then you can't say this is the price that's optimal. Because if you're not using markets, you don't know the optimal price. Nobody knows the optimal price. You're just making shit up. You're casting chicken bones and fucking looking at tea leaves. And that's all these people do. So it doesn't matter if they lower it or raise it or like, they're all
So
bullshit.
why bust my ass raise that they need to lower the interest rate?
They don't need to lower it. They need to stop existing.
Oh, now you want to tell banks that they can't make money off of other people's
No,
money?
I want the Fed to stop it. The Fed
Oh,
is not.
okay.
The Fed is not
Oh,
just
so
a
you
bank.
want the interest rates to go free market in the banking system?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm cool with that. Sort of. Yeah.
Well, okay, so like,
As long as other people can open banks up as well.
well, of course, yeah.
and
You
not
have to
be
get rid of all the
boxed out.
You have to get rid of all government controls on banks and saying, oh, you can't open a bank because of this and bullshit.
I actually have a thing. There's no way I'll ever do it. I have a plan that would eliminate the banks from housing loans.
Yeah.
And no, it's using a trick within the law, and I don't think they could stop it. And people would get much cheaper interest rates, but people would make more money on their investments.
Are you talking about life insurance?
No, I'm talking about buying a house.
No, you're talking about using life insurance to do that.
Oh no, be your own bank with life insurance.
Yeah.
No. It's I don't want to say the word because it's a word. You basically
Maybe you have to do a show
fuck
on
it. I'm never gonna do it. I said to start a co-op.
Okay.
And everybody buys into the co-op, and the co-op loans you money to buy a house.
Oh, okay.
Because then
I mean, that's kind of what those life insurance things are doing.
well, that's fine. But what I'm saying though is you take the government out of
Yes.
and the banking system out
Yes.
of it, and to live in your house, you have to pay your co-op fees, which
Yes.
would be your mortgage.
Yes.
If you don't pay your mortgage, you'd have to move out.
Right.
So it would be easier way to get out a deadbeat.
Yeah.
And
Well,
there's-
so the beauty of the life insurance, we might actually do a show on this because it's actually very interesting. But if you take a mortgage out from your life insurance, the house is paid off instantly in your name. It's your house. They cannot take the house away from you unless you
Okay.
don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, so you still owe a loan, right?
Right.
To the life insurance, but that's your life insurance. So all that happens is if you don't pay, and then you die, they just deduct that from the value of the payout.
Yeah, but the problem is to have life insurance with that much money, you got to be old. You got to be paying into it for decades.
Yes. So
So I'm going more for the
Yes.
first time home buyer.
yeah. Well, so the thing is with the life insurance plan, and I've looked at this to see if it would work for me, and you're right. Like if you start it now, you're never going to make it work. But what you got to do is when you have a child, you get a life insurance policy on that newborn child.
Yeah,
And then your premiums will be like $20.
My mom did that, but they turned out.
Well, it's not term; it's whole life. You have to get whole life. It doesn't
Okay.
work with term. So you get a whole life policy on your child, and then on their 18th birthday, you sign it over to them.
You know,
Right.
Trump wants to do something just like that. By the way,
What do you mean he wants to do that?
I think it's in the big beautiful bill.
See, that's going to ruin it all. If he fucking makes it part of the law, it's going to ruin everything.
Is it really a law that just says, "Hey, when your kid's born, you get $1,000 in a
Yes.
in a life
Yes.
in a bond or something?"
Yes. It's going to ruin everything. Don't let the government get in control of this.
The problem is they're here. We have to deal with
I
them.
get it, but look-
either grab your gun,
Everything they touch turns
put
to
the
shit.
brass in the gun, and get a bunch of friends and go to DC and overturn the
No,
government.
just stop it.
Or
Just ignore them. Just stop. Just disobey.
so drive 65 instead of 45.
Yeah, sure. That's
Okay,
part of
go
it.
ahead.
Look, that's how Gandhi got England out of India, right? They didn't start a war. They just said, "No, we're not going to do that. Go ahead and do what you're going to do." And they would just there was like a salt mine protest, I think.
Yeah.
And they would just fucking lie down. Like, go ahead. What are you going to do? You can't make us mine your salt. That's all you got to do is just stop obeying them. If enough people disobey, then there's nothing they can do about it.
I don't think that's how that would work on that one.
It did work.
Now,
Of course it would work. It always works. It's worked every time they've done it.
So you don't need a tent because you'll be kicked out of your house.
Okay.
You'll lose all your belongings, and apparently you might lose your bank account if you're in California, depending on how long you're.
That's fine, but if you're being your own bank, if you're keeping your own fucking shit, then like.
So do we want to talk about? Because I mentioned this before, and you shot me down on it. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But Trump came out over the weekend and said that Biden had clones.
What?
Oh no, have you not seen this yet? It's great. No, but they're showing the clones. They're showing like different faces. There's no way these are the same two guys. Too many wrinkles on the forehead. Look at his neck. Look at his neck. I do believe there were clones, but I would imagine every president does that.
It's not clones, it's like lookalikes.
Right.
Yeah.
Clones is a more funny word for me.
Well, but he's not genetically the same as Joe Biden.
There was a movie about it, Dave. The president had died.
Yeah.
And life and art sometimes mimic each other. I believe there was some.
They've been doing that for fucking centuries, man.
Yeah.
They've always had, like the man in the iron mask.
Yeah, so let's just say there was tomfoolery going on. Not every Biden was Biden.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, what about Trump? Trump must have him too, right?
I would think so, but could another person have that hair?
You can fake that easily.
That hair's patent, man.
Yeah, you can fake that.
You got to get copyright, and you got to apply for whatever.
Well, okay, let's talk about the Elon Trump feud then. Since we're talking about Twitter,
fake or not?
I don't think it's fake. It's not okay. It's something that I think they would do. Like they would fake it, if they had a good reason. And I just can't think of a good reason.
Well, the big beautiful bill is going through, and that's the main topic. Prior to today, that was his main topic.
I think Elon genuinely doesn't like it.
Well, because it takes EV. The EV.
No, it's not. No, that's not why.
Well, it does do that.
Okay, but that's not why he doesn't like. I think he. Well, okay. Maybe I'm the one kicking the football here.
Yeah.
But I think Elon's being genuine that he realizes the bill is bullshit. It increases spending. It increases the debt. And it undoes everything Doge was working for.
No. He said there's no Doge cuts in there. But we talked about last week, that cannot be done in that bill. That has to be a recession.
Right, and that's another thing that happened this week.
But they're starting this week.
Is Mike Johnson said we're not going to do that.
Well, I mean, Trump is I just saw Trump in Capitol Hill this afternoon. Probably spanking the fuck out of Mike Johnson.
The problem with Trump is that he's not pushing all that shit. It's not on his Twitter. It's not fucking He just talks about the big beautiful bill, which is bullshit. He doesn't talk about Doge cuts. He doesn't talk about that shit. Okay. And that's a problem.
Okay, but let's get back to the Trump and Elon thing. We'll get back to that bill in a second because there's a topic I want to bring up on that as well. Who wins this fight?
That's a tough one. I don't know.
I mean, do you remember
I want Elon to win, obviously.
Do you remember the soccer team that was trapped in the mine in Brazil or something?
Yeah.
Elon Musk was going crazy on Twitter. He was calling them pedophiles.
Yeah.
He went off the chart. Now Trump kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different
Elon's been pulling shots like he said Trump's on the Epstein list.
That today. Now, does that get Elon sued?
No, you can't. Okay,
you got to prove that shit.
No, you don't. He's a government official. He's a public figure.
You still cannot make up flat out lies.
Yes, you can.
He's
a government official.
You cannot demean their character.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Of course you can.
You have a lot more levity.
He's a government official. You can say literally fucking anything you want other than a threat. And the other problem is Trump cannot show damages. How has his reputation been damaged? Everybody that hates him already hates him.
Okay, so we'll disagree on that, and that's fine because I'm not.
There's no way a government official can sue for defamation.
But they've attempted to. I just don't know the outcomes because I didn't look into them.
All right, well, Trump, you're on the Epstein list.
But here's the
Come
thing.
after us.
No, nope, not me.
Nope, you have to sue the Canary in the Cage Incorporated Ltd.
Which doesn't exist yet.
Well, good luck.
But here's the thing. So now this is starting to trend.
Yeah.
Trump's on the Epstein list. So I mean, that kind of does hurt his character, but fine, sure.
Right, but not in a material way. He's real.
Are they going to have to release it because of
that's what I thought about that because if Trump does sue, saying Elon is defaming my character, he knows it to be false. They would have to bring the list in court.
Well,
right?
no, but just release it to the public, saying he's not on here.
Well, yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
I mean, do you believe he's on there?
I'm starting to think he might be.
I don't think he is because, one, when he ran for president in 2015, you don't think Clinton had access to that?
Maybe she didn't.
In the entire Joe Biden's presidential campaign.
Yeah, that is a good
you
argument.
don't think he had access to that? This guy's been vetted more than anybody else.
Well, so like when he won against Clinton, like that was a total blindside.
Yeah, right.
Right. They thought we have it in the bag.
Yeah, she had the balloons and the fireworks already bought.
So like I can see why they would hold that ammo. Now the reason they might not release it during his term is because they used COVID to get rid of him, right?
Yeah.
COVID, he fucking fumbled that ball so fucking hard, and like we're like, yeah, we'll keep that for later.
Yeah.
Right. So now is later.
Well, later was the last 4 years.
Well, no, because Trump was out of power. Right?
Yeah, but he was running for office. They were fake arresting him.
Maybe
they were doing all these charges on him.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. It's like I don't know.
I just wanted to come out. But here's the thing. I mean, there is one picture that circulates the internet every couple of months.
Yeah.
Of Trump and Epstein together.
Yeah. At some party. Yeah.
Trump was like 30 years ago.
Right.
That's the best picture you got.
Right.
I'm thinking he's not on that list because there are no pictures of him.
Well,
I mean, those two both were New Yorkites. They had to run into each other.
Well, sure. Yeah. That for sure.
So a picture with each other to me, that's not.
That's not. What's making me change my mind is that he keeps fucking up with this fucking. He's not hammering Doge. He's not hammering close the Department of Education. Post a list. He's not getting on fucking Bongino and Pam Bondi. He's not making them do their jobs.
We talked about this months ago. He's great to get something started. He sucks on follow-up. I mean, look at L.A. They're still not building fucking houses there. They still have issue permits there. And he's like, we're going to streamline this. And I'm sure he meant to and he wanted to, but people are not following. And he needs a strong DOJ, a strong FBI, and whatever
feel like
else.
You believe everything else is a conspiracy, but not this. This is just Trump's just not good at something. Like,
what would be the conspiracy, though?
That he's on the list. And he's been compromised. Maybe he's not on the list. Maybe he's compromised in some other way. And like
I believe he's compromised.
And they're holding it over him. They're saying, if you do this, we're going to release the info.
But so what kind of info could actually hurt Trump at this point?
Being on the Epstein list.
I mean, he's almost 80, or he is 80. He's got enough money to live forever.
Sure.
Or live as long as he can live. He's not. I mean, he's a public figure now. But if he got impeached, he would just go play golf.
If he's on the Epstein list, or some similar list, that means he committed sex crimes,
right?
And he will go to prison for the rest of his life, for his short life.
The statute of limitations is up.
Depends on what the crime was.
I believe murder is the only thing that carries past 10 years.
Know.
It was 7 years. I believe now it's 10.
I don't know.
I believe murder is the only thing that gets past that.
These would be federal charges, so you have to look at the federal version, and it's a big.
Well, but then you would have to go after everybody on those lists.
Of course.
I mean, Tom Hanks, not the Tom Hanks.
Of course, this is the nuclear option for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they haven't released it, because this is the nuclear option. You can't just release the Trump entry. You got to release the whole list and burn all your allies. So
it's all redacted except for Donald Trump.
Yeah, like that's not going to fly. Like no, that doesn't count, buddy.
I don't know. I just think it would have came out by now.
I don't know, because it is the nuclear option. Because their people are on that list too, and they know it.
There's at least one Supreme Court justice on that list. John Roberts.
See, now you're going to get sued.
That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm really probably not. I've seen some of the pictures.
Do we have a good Monero challenge this week?
Is John Roberts on the Epstein list? Yes or no?
That's a shitty challenge.
Well, yeah, it would all be yes. Not that John Roberts is a Supreme Court member, a different John Roberts. Very popular name.
Yeah.
I was thinking of one. I couldn't think of one. I mean, we can do a code word or something.
Let's just do a secret word.
They just want the money.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to fuck around and be entertaining with it.
Right. What's it? You pick a secret word. I picked the last 12. Just pick a word.
I'm trying to make it relevant to our show, without being too much of an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna fail that.
The Mars rover.
Mars rover? Okay.
Mars rover.
Code word Mars rover?
No, sorry, Moon rover.
Moon rover. So if you want to get in the wheel next week, just message me with Moon rover.
So did we bring up on the X account the pregnant girl dancing?
It was on there, but we didn't.
Bring that up if it's easy to find. So it's Meghan Markle, who's married to the ex-prince, or I don't know where he stands at now with the princehood and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently they're in a hospital.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is like a ritual of a dance before the baby comes out. A lot of people don't believe she's pregnant. One, they're saying that belly's way too high. But it's I honestly don't give a shit. But it's if she is faking it, she's using a thing called the. I'll go back to the words for a second. I put it in the words.
Is she faking her pregnancy? A moon bump?
Moon bump. So if you fake a pregnancy, they have a thing called a moon bump you can put in there.
Huh.
So why would they use the word moon for in something that's fake?
God. Here we go again.
I didn't make up the word moon bump. I did not make up the word moon bump. I'm just saying, they go, hey, if we want a woman to be fake pregnant...
And if you open the Bible to fucking Judges chapter 12 and then read like every fourth letter, it says the moon landing is fake. So there you go.
Well, see, there's more proof right there. No, it's just like,
all right,
what can we call something that makes a woman look pregnant but it's fake? Well, it would be a bump. We all can agree it would be a bump. Oh, we faked the moon landing, so let's call it a moon bump.
Nobody's doing that.
I am.
Oh my god! All right, let's give away this week's Monero.
Okay.
So last week's challenge was get your ass on I2P. Mm-hmm. Go to the Guess the Song website that we have set up and submit a song. So we actually had a bunch of people do that.
This is where I'm going to miss a lot.
4, 5. So we had 6 submissions and
Okay.
1 was ruled invalid. That's the one I think you're going to get.
Why was it ruined?
So the rule is...
Because it's stupid.
No.
And the stupid guy's going to get it.
The rule is you have to take song lyrics
Okay.
and make an AI image from the song lyrics, and then people have to guess what song it was based on the image. They didn't use the lyrics. They just created an image that would tell you what the song is. essentially. So that's the one we're going to do first and see if you can get it.
It's a baseball bat.
Yeah.
A bat, baby, one more time. One more time, baby. Is that Vanilla Icing or something?
You got the song. It's Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Oh, yeah.
Britney Spears. And that was...
Is that Britney Spears?
No, it's just some bot.
No, it's not.
The bot doesn't know most, or the AI bot doesn't know most people. It knows Trump.
Okay.
It knows Putin. It knows a couple of high-profile people, but it doesn't know a lot.
So Hit Me Baby One More Time, is that part of the lyrics?
It is, but that's not what he did. He just said, a woman holding a baby with a baseball bat and a clock, and like, he didn't just type the lyrics.
Okay.
So that's what Ein tried to pull, and we caught him. So you didn't get the wheel this week, Ein. And I told you in the chat to make a new one, and you'll be in, but you didn't do it. So you're out, buddy. Follow the rules.
Don't follow the rules, man. Uncage your brain.
Well, then you don't get any Monero. That's fine. So this one is from RN.
But you're also not being conditioned by Dave. So he's a condition. He's a groomer. Watch out for
this
him.
one is from RN. I really don't think you're going to get it because this is an obscure as fuck song. RN listens to some weird ass music.
There's no way I'm gonna get that.
Yeah. So this is like a blow up doll, or it's an inflatable doll floating in a swimming pool.
Oh, I didn't get that.
That was hard.
Yeah, it's definitely not being shown on the screen.
And we had to get hints in the chat, so RN gave us some hints, and I eventually found it. It's called "In Every Dream Home a Heartache" by Roxy Music.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what that
good
song
job
is.
Going deep, man. Find that B-side.
Yeah, if you notice, there's an extra foot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The bot does weird shit sometimes with human anatomy. This one is from Ardu, and Ardu is the person who runs the AI bots.
Okay.
Now, nobody got this one is unknown, so nobody's got this yet.
So we don't know. We don't know the answer.
We don't know the correct answer.
Oh.
So if you get this, that's pretty fucking amazing.
So you got a sun setting, or is that a light?
I don't know. It could be a sun.
Oh no! It might be a street light. Actually, I see the pole there.
It could be a street light.
I believe she's in her underwear.
She got some undies on. Yeah.
Is there a bra on?
It's hard to tell. Probably not.
Hair blown in the wind.
Now he gave some hints because none of us have a clue. He said the word moon is in the title, and it's an electro dance song or something like that.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get
is the moon? Is that her butt?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Or is that the moon? Oh, that might be the moon way up there. But you would think.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
But that was a valid entry, and when they expire, I believe we give them 10 days. And after they expire and nobody guesses it, then the bot will say, "Oh, well, here's the answer." So this one is from Cumlord, who runs the website and the game bot.
Leather jacket or just a shirt?
I don't know.
Maybe a shirt wearing shoes on the back paws only. Sitting.
You know the song, but you might not be able to get the song from it.
Kind of looks like a calico. Clown shoes. Or golf shoes. Bowling shoes. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
So this one is WAP by Cardi B.
Oh. Wait,
What's another word for cat?
No, it's pussy. I know that. Yeah. It's wet ass pussy. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a cat. It's in the rain. It's wet. And there is a line in the song about wearing boots and a jacket. So that's what that was. I actually got that one.
Well, you listen to Cardi B?
No, but I could figure it out from the image. So next we have Almagest. I did not get this one, but someone else did.
I almost want to think of Morris Day song. Morris Day and the Time.
Well, because you see the clock.
I see the clock, but if you...
The Time is the name of the band.
No, I know, but if you...
I can't even probably see that one. It's so dark. It's very dark.
You know, if you... one of the Clerks movies, not Clerks, but Jay and Silent Bob movies had Morris Day do a whole bit, and the room kind of looked like that, and with the clock being up.
Yeah, but you got to think of song lyrics, not something in a Clerks movie.
O-E-O-E-O, Morris Day and the Time? And they mentioned the time, don't they? Or the clock? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get this one. I guess you probably know the song.
Okay. I did not know what that's supposed to be. I mean, I know the terminology for it. But,
you don't know, well...
And I know what it is, and I'm not going any further with that one. This gets me in trouble. Yeah, I don't know.
This is Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah, I don't know why the clock showed up, because there's no clock in there. It's like sometimes it puts weird artifacts, and it throws you off. But, yeah.
Yeah, because it's prominent. And it's in the picture, and it doesn't belong in the picture.
Yes, that threw me off.
Like, that clock in the picture is floating, because it's not hung on the wall because the lights...
Right.
Oh, well, this light string's in front of it, that one's behind it.
Yeah, it's very weird.
So it can't be there. Well, no, but are they wait, hold on, though. Are they outside?
I don't know.
Is there a pole coming off that clock?
I don't know. It's not.
But Dancing in the Dark, this makes no sense.
It didn't come from the song lyrics. I don't know where that clock came from. So, but someone did get it. So it was good enough that someone got it. So Almagest is in here, and then this is from Dormouse, but he used the name Delete Data, so that's what the entry is going to be. Delete Data.
Is that the Chinese? No, the Chinese flag is that's in the circle. It's not Ukraine. Do we know what flag it is?
I know what flag it is.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
This actually threw me off too, because that's the flag of Poland. So I started looking up song lyrics that talked about the flag of Poland, right?
So they were smart enough to use a flagpole to hang the flag up? I got Polish flag. I'm married to... Well, sort of.
So the obvious choice would be the Polish national anthem. It wasn't that. And it turns out the Italian national anthem mentions the Polish flag.
Really?
Yeah, because it was written back in the 1850s when they were like fighting against Prussia or some shit.
Did they mention that the flag flies without a pole?
I don't know. But it wasn't the Italian national anthem. And like this threw me off for a while because the answer has nothing to do with the Polish flag. So like the lyrics talk about white flags and red flags, and the bot just fucking smashed them together, and it made the Polish flag by chance. And if you notice, there's like blood rain here, like it's raining blood.
Yeah.
So like I was able to find it through that, and it's actually a Marilyn Manson song called "Raise the Red Flag."
Oh.
So that's what that was. So yeah, those are our entries this week, and let's see who wins. RN. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, last week's winner, Mav McHugh.
Yeah.
So his entry for George Wendt was Daddy Daycare.
Yeah.
George Wendt was not in Daddy Daycare.
See, I didn't remember if he was, but...
It was Jeff Garland who was in Daddy Daycare.
Oh, but I assume he was right just because, I mean, it makes sense.
So...
But another fat white guy.
No, so the funny thing is George Wendt was in the sequel to Daddy Daycare called Granddaddy Daycare. But I told him like you snuck one by me whether you did it on purpose or not. You won, and that's fair is fair.
Yeah.
And like he genuinely didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So he felt bad, and he donated the winnings back.
Okay.
So RN, you're gonna get the 0.01 plus those donated winnings
If you find us.
if you find us.
Come and get it.
All right. What else we got? We got everything here.
There was something else. Well, maybe not, because we got the fake Joe Bidens. Like I dogged the moon landing again, so that was good. I think there was other stuff, but I didn't make note. I didn't go to work today. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, I think that's. I'm good. I mean,
okay then.
I think we're an hour in already.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, 59 minutes.
I am going to talk about CAPTCHAs this week.
Okay.
So CAPTCHA is like you're on a website and it says, "Oh, tell us what the bicycles are," or just select all the crosswalks. Have you seen those things? Mm-mm. You don't see those things?
No.
Most people get them all the fucking time, and they're fucking stupid. So like,
yeah. But I haven't seen them in a long time.
Well, that means they're tracking you. That means they know who you are.
No, or they're now going to two-step verification.
Oh, well, that's even worse. Like,
I know.
You just gave them all your fucking info.
I know. I mean, it was. I know you. I haven't seen one in a long time.
That's because they already have you tracked. This is Ron. He can come in.
I'm on my VPN most of the time.
Doesn't matter. They got you. They got your ass. It's your Israeli VPN. Your ghost Israeli. Okay, but I get CAPTCHAs all the fucking time because I'm actually browsing the web safely, and they don't like it when you do that.
Okay.
And CAPTCHAs are fucking stupid. So let me explain why. They don't even work most of the time.
You're right.
Like sometimes I'll block the website that has the CAPTCHA, or my VPN will, and like it won't load, and then the site will be like, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't identify you. You can't use our website." Other times, or like when it does load, like you can't even solve it. Right? It's unsolvable by a human half the time. Like, and a machine can solve it all fucking day long, right? So if you plug this into the AI will solve it. But you're looking at it like, oh, is this pixel a bicycle or not?
Yeah.
I don't know what it
wants. Bicycle. Check the box of the bicycle. Well, that's the front. That's part of the front tire of the bicycle.
It's so fucking terrible.
I don't know. They check that box.
It's garbage. And like a lot of these are run by Google, and the shitty trick is that they're not even testing that you get the right answer. So what they're doing is they're training their AI models with your answers, right? So they don't know what a bicycle is. And you're telling them what a bicycle is, and now they're feeding that into their AI model, and they're using that to make money. So you are giving Google money when you participate in these CAPTCHAs. So now the reason CAPTCHAs exist at all is to stop like web scrapers and bots and people from just hammering the website DDoSes. So there is a valid thing that we're trying to solve. But we have a better way to solve it than CAPTCHAs. And that's called a proof of work CAPTCHA.
Okay.
So proof of work comes from the crypto world, where you're solving, what you're doing is you're cracking a hash. Okay. So, and really like the reason why proof of work is better besides all those things I said about CAPTCHAs is like you really don't care if the visitor to your site is a human or a machine, right? You only care that it's not overusing your resources. Right? Now, maybe you want it to click ads too, or show them ads, so you kind of want it to be a human, but whatever. Like, proof of work CAPTCHAs are, they're unintrusive because your browser is cracking a hash in the background, and then once it solves the hash, you're let into the site. Now, usually it takes less than 1 second, but this is more than enough to stop attackers because it used a lot of hard drive, or it used a lot of CPU power.
Okay.
Now what happens is once you crack the hash, the site will give you a cookie that says, okay, you've cracked the hash, and that cookie will last like 10 to 30 minutes. So every 10 to 30 minutes, you'll see this come again. And you'll have to crack another hash. And it's really unintrusive. Like you barely notice it. It's not going to slow you down and piss you off like the way a CAPTCHA does. And like that cookie is also tied to your IP address or whatever you're using to request.
Okay.
So like you can't just share the cookie, right? Like an attacker can't get one cookie and then share it with his entire network of bots and then attack the site for 30 minutes. It doesn't work that way. You have to get a new cookie for each browser session or whatever. Now there's a couple of software projects that do this for you that are open source. The big one in town is called Anubis. It's open source. You can self-host it or host it offsite. Now the downside to Anubis is that it requires JavaScript, and a lot of people want to turn off JavaScript for privacy reasons. So if someone goes to your site that's protected by Anubis and they don't have JavaScript, they just won't be able to get in. And another problem is it doesn't theme, like they don't have themes available.
Okay. So
like if your website is like black and red, like your Anubis screen is still going to be their default colors.
Okay.
And it's just kind of jarring to your customers, and it's kind of shitty. And actually the biggest problem I have with them is like a super woke dev team. Like if you look at them, like they're like, oh, purple hair, trans, this and that. It's like, and I try to avoid that shit if I can, because even if the project's good now, it's not going to be good in like 5-10 years. Like they're always going to take over and do stupid shit and whatever. And actually, luckily, I found a better one in basically every respect yesterday. So this one's called Go Away. Now it's based on Anubis, so like it functions similar.
Yeah.
But it adds things. So again, it's self-host. You can self-host it. You can host it offsite. It does have non-JavaScript options. So it found tricky ways to do proof of work without JavaScript. And it's not exactly the same, but it still does stop the vast majority of attackers. And the dev is from the Monero community. So I found it through him, actually. So he's a pretty cool guy. He does a lot of the P2 pool stuff with Monero mining.
Okay.
So like he's not like a woke retard or whatever. And it has themes. So you can, it has a couple of preset themes, and you can also customize your own theme. So you can now make your proof of work blocker look like your website.
Oh, that's cool.
So now your customers don't even notice anything's going wrong. So I would say go with Go Away. If you need this on your site, I don't actually use it for ours because like I don't need to block anything, and if I do need to, I'll put it up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you need something like this on your site, look into Go Away, get it installed. Stop doing fucking Google CAPTCHAs. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, that's my talk.
Cool. So I've been referencing that I did not go to work today.
Yep.
I don't care. I mean, I was going to sleep at my desk. So no, I went out to my truck. I mean, I had coffee in hand, heading to work, and I went to start my truck, and it started, but it just made like it was a weird sounding start.
Oh, those are fun.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm idling fine, I'm running, so I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I look at the clock on the radio, and it's at 12.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's weird. I must have I can lose power. So I'm like, well, let's just drive. And I kind of idle out of my neighborhood. And I get on the main street, and then my battery gauge starts jumping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's probably my alternator's going.
Yeah.
I'm like, so let me, I gave it a little bit of time because I was considering going to work and then just dealing with it later.
Yeah.
I grabbed
You might
my
not be able to get home, though.
Well, I grabbed my jump box.
Okay.
But then I'm thinking, well, what if I can't get home?
Yeah.
And I can't do the podcast. I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to work. You see what my priorities are.
Yeah, but you answer fucking calls while we're on the podcast.
Yes. So when I got home, I grabbed my meter real quick. I checked my battery. The vehicle off, battery 12.5 volts,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then turned it on. It's 14. I'll get that a little more detail in a second. I'm like, well, that's coming back fine. That means it passed. So I'm like, well, let me go by AutoZone and have them run the test. They have a machine they hook up. Same thing. The car goes on. Alternator passed. I go, huh. So I started up and I drive home. And I'm thinking, when I got home, I'm like, you know what? I was driving down the road.
Yeah.
So my RPMs were up.
Yeah.
So I would go there. I would run my I'd rev my RPMs up around 2,500.
Yeah.
And then the damn needles started going. So I grabbed my wife and we did that. That's when that's when the alternator reared its ugly head and said, "I'm bad." There are a few other components involved in that, or it depends on what vehicle you have. But sometimes it's battery, alternator, and sometimes a power regulator. But that's typically inside the alternator. You can replace that separately than the alternator, but just do the alternator. So basically you want to test an alternator, you get a digital meter. It's just easy with digital. Set it to DC, not AC. It actually says DC. Hit your battery terminals. Like one guy's like, put the black one on the black and the red one on the red.
Doesn't matter.
I've never heard that in my life.
You might get a negative sign if you do the opposite, but it doesn't matter.
It's measuring current through the device.
Yeah.
So, nope, that's the red cable. We can't go up it.
Yeah.
No. So just cable. I mean, if you want to be fun, red cable red, black cable black. It is a good rule to follow if you're installing electrical stuff. I'm just saying. Well, no, actually, you can connect red and black together in electrical because they both are hot. So it doesn't matter. Just go crazy. So if the car is off, battery should be 12.5 is fine. Go and start your car. Then go back to your battery again. If your alternator's working fine, it's going to show 14 or 14.3 or 4, whatever. Alternator's working fine. So I'm like, that's what was throwing me off. Because I'm like, well, I guess it could be this power regulator thing. So that's when I revved it up. I had my wife, and once we got the RPMs up, I had the seat heater on, I had the air conditioning on because I added as much load as I could.
Yeah.
But you know, when I was driving, my lights weren't flickering, my gauges weren't going crazy. Because if you ever get
the gauges are very low power. So
right, but if you ever get a bad alternator or like a bad ground in the alternator, that your car goes fucking wacky. I've had my gauges do that; they're just going crazy.
Weird.
But yeah, so I tested it, and I just went to make the call that the alternator's bad because again, it could have been the power regulator, but it was inside. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Swapped out the Okay, so to do an alternator, it's kindergarten shit.
I had to do that on my DeLorean. What a fucking pain in the ass.
you got fancy cars. I mean, yeah. But I got an SUV. Pulled the hot wire off. Pulled the other wires off. I just don't know what those go to. I guess they're on a clip. They're skinny, so they're obviously probably charging up something small.
I think that's just like the regulating.
Yeah, maybe. I actually never thought about it, to be honest with you. And then there's 2 bolts. And before you get the 2 bolts, you go to the idler arm, which is, if you go to find the idler arm, just follow the belt. And you'll see a little a wheel that does nothing. That's just like, why is that there? It's not connected to anything. Well, you put in my case, it was a 15 wrench. Put it on there, pull it forward, loosens the belt, take the belt off, take the 2 bolts out, go get the new alternator. Helpful tip, take the alternator with you, because it's a core charge. It saves you 2 trips to the auto store. And come back in and reverse, and you're good to go. Same thing, put the belt back on. When you do the belt back on, I don't know if it would work in reverse, because I always put the belt on and have the belt off the idler arm, and then I manipulate the idler arm and put the belt on the idler arm. It's just easier for me. This is how I was taught. So it might be better, it might not be. I don't know, it works.
Yeah, I mean, this is really going to depend a lot on your car, because fucking that DeLorean job was, dude, the bolts that they have is like all tension based. So like you need to fucking hoist the car up and then like have tension on it to replace everything.
Really?
It's fucking, so like what I ended up doing was they sell an actual tension bolt online where like you twist the bolt and then it creates tension.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those and then I tried to fit it into the alternator and it didn't fit in the hole of the alternator. So I had to fucking like file down the hole in the alternator and like tap screw holes in there, motherfucker. Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare, dude. But I did get it up, but holy shit. And getting the belt back on, like, that part was the easy part. I'm like, what's the alternator?
Because the idler arm does move. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, alternators to me are a piece of cake, because they're right at the top of the engine. There's nothing in the way.
Yeah, I mean, look up the specifics for your car.
Yeah.
Because there might be little tweaks here and there that you got to change. But yeah.
Yeah, there's enough on YouTube, or you can tell who a qualified person is and who a qualified person isn't. So go on there, watch the video. A lot of times they'll tell you what tools you need to do the job. Yeah. So you can just take the tools with you, and then you're good to go.
I think usually a ratchet set is all you need for that.
Well, yeah, ratchets are good, but I also like to use. In some cases, I prefer wrenches. Huh. Ratchets are good, but there's also the ratcheting wrenches, which are nice too. But I tend to break the ratchet of the socket ratchet. Well, I'll use a hammer on it. I'll put on a pressure on it.
Well, no wonder.
Well, but I mean, you got a bolt. You got to get loose. You got to get the bolt loose. So I guess
WD-40 that shit.
Oh, don't ever use WD-40. Use a torch. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, use a torch and you're changing the heat of it and it'll spin and contract. Yeah, I got a friend, sort of a friend. He would, if he had a car part, he couldn't get a part. Yeah. But it was off the car, he would put it in the freezer. It's the same thing as the torch, but why not just use the torch?
Well, if you want to, because it can expand or contract, so depending on which one you want to do.
I want the body and the bolt to move in different directions, or to move. I guess in the same direction would be fine, but just any movement's gonna help. So, all right, that's it for the week.
Cool. See you next week.
Yep. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the Canary in the Cage podcast.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share us to help build the community.
You can find us at Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, or your favorite podcast app. And even on the dark web at I2P.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.